Landing on an aircraft carrier is hazardous, but even more so when things don't go according to plan. In this case, a test pilot named Captain George Duncan was testing a F-9F-5 Panther as the aircraft dropped below the correct line of approach, and the fighter struck the edge of the flight deck and broke in half. You would suppose that was the end of it for the pilot, right? But it's not what you think. Thanks to the swift reaction of the flight deck crew, the pilot was pulled out alive, and the fire was swiftly extinguished in 6 months. Captain Duncan was back at piloting and later on became a lawyer. Today, under standard operational procedures, when landing on aircraft carriers, pilots apply maximum throttle at touchdown. If they snag one of the 3 or 4 arresting wires, they come to a full stop. Otherwise, the full throttle provides sufficient power to proceed down the angled flight deck and become airborne again. This is known as bolter. During the succeeding pass, the bolter aircraft will attempt to land again. But in the early days of aircraft carriers, this was not always feasible because carriers had traditional flat-top designs instead of the modern angled flight deck. This meant that airplanes were landing directly in front of the other parked airplanes, so there was very little room for error. For this purpose, emergency flight deck barriers were installed at the end of the landing area. The barriers were about 3 feet tall and would be lowered after each successful landing in order to move the aircraft to the parking area. If something did go awry, like a broken tailhook, the deck barriers were essential in stopping the aircraft from crashing into the flight deck crew or parked airplanes. After hitting the barrier wires, airplanes usually sustain significant damage and sometimes even burst into flames. The flight deck personnel were also as likely to get injured as the pilots themselves due to the wires flying around the flight deck. As you can see in this example, barrier wires were not always sufficient to entirely stop an aircraft, so a better solution was required. Don't stress. This airplane's pilot was effectively rescued by a helicopter. Presently, barrier wires are no longer used as they were substituted with barricade netting, which kind of resembles a tennis net. The modern barricade emergency recovery system consists of multiple engagement straps approximately 20 feet in height. As the airplane enters the barricade, the release straps break and the aircraft is caught by the engagement straps, which transmit the load to the barricade engine below the deck via a purchase cable. The barricade is ordinarily stored away and is only rigged in case of an emergency such as tailhook or landing gear malfunction. A well-trained crew can set up a barricade in under 3 minutes after successful arrest. The webbing and the deck cables are discarded. While barricade prosecutions are rare, they still occur from time to time. And for this reason, all American aircraft carriers are equipped with them, while such landings are harsh on the pilots and often lead to significant damage to the aircraft. This is still significantly better than the alternative over the years. Barricades have saved numerous lives, and because of that, they are an essential part of the carrier's toolkit while you expect to never have to use it. When the situation arises, you're happy to have it.